When Savannah Craib was 5.5 years old, her mother Wendy noticed that her hairline was subtly receding and she was developing bald patches on her head. This was the start of what would be a severe case of alopecia for Savannah. Now, alopecia is an autoimmune disorder in which the body attacks its own hair follicles and stops hair growth.
Luckily, in March 2005, Wendy came across the Universal Hair and Scalp Clinic, and 4 years later, Savannah has almost completely regained a full head of hair. As you can see, she's sitting in the middle over there. Both Wendy and Savannah join us this morning with Carol Johnson from the clinic. Good morning to you, one and all.
Good morning.
Savannah, I'm just going to come to you. Well, actually, I don't know whether I should come to you first, actually, because you were the first person to notice. She was only 5, Savannah, and as a mum, what did you see? What did you get a sense of?
Well, the first thing I noticed was she had no hair on her legs, and I thought she'd found my razor. And she said, no, I hadn't. And I thought, okay, that's odd. And then I just suddenly, gradually noticed the hairline. I never really found clumps of hair on her pillow or anything. And then she lost her eyebrows and her eyelashes, and I thought, wow, this is really not good. And I'd gone back home to Zimbabwe for a holiday, so I took her straight to the doctor there, and he didn't apply any treatment because he said I'd be coming back to Ireland in a month. So yeah, when I got back here, I started the treatment. And
how bad did it get at worst, Wendy? I think we have some photographs as well.
Yeah, she lost quite a lot of the top of her hair, and her hairline at the back was
we can see the picture there. I mean, it's
yeah.
It's just behind us here, Savannah. I mean, it's so upsetting.
At what age are you here, Savannah?
That was the first day she started with the hair clinic. She was 10.
And what do you remember of this period in your life?
Well, I actually didn't realise it was that bad. I look at pictures now and I see it, but it never really bothered me.
But like when you were losing your eyelashes and your eyebrows and the hair was falling out, you must have known this isn't happening to my friends.
No, yeah, I knew, but I knew there was like hair falling out and stuff, but it never really bothered me.
It didn't bother you?
No, not really.
That's remarkable for a girl.
Wow.
It's remarkable for anybody, but it's remarkable for girls, particularly a beautiful girl like you. I mean, you must have been aware of the fact that, you know, you're a very pretty girl, and you look in the mirror and you go, well, this can't be right.
She was quite a tomboy during that time, so maybe that helped.
I was a tomboy too. I still would have been devastated, I have to say. So it didn't upset you, Savannah?
No, not really. Like, my friends never took notice to it, and I never really minded.
And did no one pass comment on it, or?
A few times, but...
Yeah.
She would say, oh, I have alopecia. And some people didn't really know what that was. Oh, okay. And then they'd probably go home and say, what's alopecia, Mum? Yeah. Okay, we won't ask that again. So.
Now, there are some hereditary aspects to it, but also stress can be a huge factor in it. And at the time, Savannah was quite ill as well, wasn't she? She was going through some major surgery.
She had kidney reflux. So she had a whole lot of blood tests and catheters and all sorts of tests leading up to an operation where they put in a Teflon valve into her system. So yeah, I think it was a combination of leaving Zimbabwe, because it happened, I would say, 9-10 months after we left. And I think also the fact that she had blood tests, antibiotics, all sorts. And I just thought she was being such a brave girl because she never cried at any of the blood tests and just took it in her stride. I thought, great.
So to outwardly no appearance of being bothered by it.
Yeah.
But of course, who knows what's going on in the subconscious either.
Yeah.
Savannah, what do you think started it, or can you pinpoint? Is there anything in you that you think, oh yeah, I think that might have been it?
Not really. I suppose just the move and all the medication and stuff.
The move was an emotional upheaval for you. Yeah. So maybe stress.
You, I believe you heard of Carol's organisation through the Jerry Ryan show.
No, the Jerry Ryan show, I rang in to talk about the alopecia. I'd just come across it through the golden pages. I'd been to dermatologists, psychologists, homeopaths, and nothing seemed to be working. And somebody had recommended an Indian doctor to me, so I was going through the golden pages looking up an Indian doctor, and I saw the Universal Hair Clinic. And I know some of the other hair clinics don't treat children because of the medication and the treatments. And they did, and I rang and they said, no, bring her in anytime. So that's when I started.
So it was obviously upsetting enough for you to want to get it treated. You know, you weren't, you were saying it didn't bother you, but you weren't happy to stay like that either, Savannah.
No, I wouldn't want to stay with my hair, but...
I think it bothered me more. I noticed people staring and I heard the comments, and I think it bothered me more.
And you wanted to protect her.
Yeah.
Carol, when Savannah and Wendy came into you, in terms of the kind of cases that present to you, what stage or how severe was it?
Well, as you've seen, Mark, from the photograph, it was quite severe. Probably one of the, I don't like to say worst cases we've seen, but it was particularly severe. There was a lot of scalp hair gone. And although Savannah is saying she wasn't conscious, she was really a child. And to us, she was just a little girl. So, I mean, obviously now we've nothing to worry about and she's done really well. But had it happened now as an adolescent, she'd be answering that question probably far differently.
So when you see somebody presenting with a severe case like that, how difficult is it? What do you have to adapt how you treat it, and also the fact that she was very young?
And the fact that she was a child, we certainly did with Savannah. Everyone is individually assessed, and treatment then is specific to each individual. So with Savannah, because she was a little girl, there was a lot of coaxing and TLC as well as treatment, and we'd have used maybe less of laser and less of high frequency, and not as concentrated in terms of the...
But if the body is attacking its own hair follicles, so how do you reverse that?
Well, okay, it's an autoimmune disorder, but stress can be a big trigger in alopecia, as can diet if your iron levels are very low. There are lots of things, and it's kind of one of these things that in the world of medicine, a doctor won't even say to you, this is what caused it, that's what caused it. So we really don't know what's going on, other than maybe when somebody comes in and feels, I've done something about it, I've come somewhere, and maybe when they see mum being a little bit calm and feeling happy that she's started a process of trying to treat this, we relax. And then when we relax, we're under less stress.
Savannah, how do you feel now with your lovely full head of hair? I mean, you look beautiful. It looks as natural as, you know, you'd never know you'd undergone any problems by looking at you. Is it important to you now that you know it's gone away? Do you worry that it will come back?
No, I don't really worry that it'll come back. I like it now. I think, like, if I'd gotten it now, I'd probably be more worried about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like my hair now.
And you don't have any problem putting stuff in it either, do you?
Some highlights in there.
Did you have a kitten when she said, I'd like to put a few streaks in my hair?
Yeah,
You just got it back.
I've been asking for a few years, and I said no. And then this summer, I did ask the ladies at the hair clinic
And is that
if that would
now,
be okay.
you don't need to worry ever again about alopecia? Is she cured for life, Carol, or is that possible?
Well, alopecia can come and go in people, but with Savannah we're confident.
Yeah.
I mean, listening to Wendy, when Savannah's hair started to grow back, it didn't just come back as a full head of hair, it did come back patchy. And so it's not just like a miracle cure, it's a lot of time.
It takes a long time.
And
6 months
she was
to a
very
year
brave.
before you start to see really positive results.
Yeah.
But if they're the results you can achieve, well, hey.
Exactly, because Wendy, her mum, used to count the hair.
Yeah.
As it came back, she'd come in and say, there's 2 new hairs. And
There's a famous
Would
story,
you ring them?
There's a famous
Let's do
story
your
about
hair.
Burt Reynolds, the movie star, who, when he was losing his hair, his girlfriend at the time said that he used to get the hairs out of the shower and count them and go bananas.
Yeah.
That's how badly it can affect people.
course.
So, and I can tell you, you're going to get a huge response to this. I'd say your phone will be ringing
Phones
off
will
the
be
hook.
hopping.